Yo, what's the deal? It's YingYangSports. We back at it with another episode. Today we got the Friday edition going on. Got our special guest from last time back up with us with another episode. Caleb, how you doing today?
Pretty good, man. Friday.
Doing good. Friday. You was just telling the people, or you was just telling me you had a long week. We made your week long, other than.
I don't even know. It's like this is I guess starting last week. Every time you start a new job or something, it kind of goes by slow.
Yeah, no, I feel that. Yeah.
But yeah, happy it's the weekend.
Because, no, that's silly that you did just say that's the reason. Because, like I said, once you get into the swing of this, you're going to be like, damn. Because that's how I feel right now. Like, I'm like, damn, it's Friday already again. Yeah. Like, it feel like it was just Tuesday. So, it's like, it's a plus and I guess it's a good and a bad to that with the week going by so fast. For me, that just showed me that I've been in, like, I'm heavy in my routine. Because, like, for me, my routine is, like, wake up in the morning, go to the gym, work out, eat. Well, I don't eat before I come here. I grab something on the way, come here, eat, and then do my thing here, leave, and then probably just smoke one and then do some homework or go to sleep. Most part, go to sleep, though.
Yeah, I think another reason why I think my week, because I work, too, still. So, like.
Where you work at?
My buddy has opened up a pizzeria up in my town, and I'm working
Nice.
there. It's all right. It's cool. Shout out Tomato and Basil. Yeah, I mean, it's cool, but...
Where's Tomato and Basil at?
Romeo. Like, right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you did say you was from
like
Romeo.
10 minutes away from my house, so it's cool, and then... But, yeah. It's,
Yeah, no, Alan W. talking about, bro, the Pistons press still hasn't started. Yeah, I left out of E&E at, like, 3:30 expecting, like, look at a little bit of the press conference, because I usually clip in the studio. But I walked back here, and, like, it just never started, and it still hasn't started, which is crazy.
That shit's not going to start till 5. I mean, they're always late on their press conferences. And this is, like, a really important one. Like,
Yeah,
why
no.
would you not want to be on time?
They probably, bro, I ain't gonna lie, knowing the Pistons, they probably back there getting haircuts and shit, probably shooting dice or something. Like, they just chilling back there for real for the most part.
What is one thing, like, you want to hear from Trajan Langdon? What, like, one specific thing you want to hear him talk about and kind of preface?
One of the main things I want him to talk about that I never really haven't heard from any Pistons, like, higher up is what direction do you want this team to move? Like be completely honest. Do you want to start with the rebuild, or do you want to start by opening up the bag and dumping money into free agents and, like, trying to win and, like, thinking you have a core team that you could just put some free agent dollars into them and then we could eventually be, like, a solidified playoff team? Like, see, that's more so what I want to hear.
Yeah, because, like, there's no worse thing in the league, like, than these, like, tweener teams, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I've been saying that since I was probably, like, 9. Like, it makes no sense to meddle.
I'm trying to think of, like, a example right now in the league, like, maybe, like, the Bulls.
Bulls
like
would be a good
team
example,
that's, like, in the middle of, like,
just
let's go
there.
win it, and because they just traded Caruso for Giddey. I mean, that's like, what are you doing?
You know, that's for sure one of those moves that's, like, I don't know, like I really don't know how. I only see that benefit in the Thunder. I don't really see how that benefits the Bulls. Like, granted, Giddey, like, I guess I'm more so saying, like, looking at the Bulls' position, Giddey isn't a player that's going to boost their win percentage. If anything, he probably drop it a little bit.
Make them worse.
Yeah, so, yeah, no, that's, like, one of those moves that I've been used to the Pistons making for, like, a while. It's just, like, a move just to make a move. Like, the Pistons got people talking about Simon Fontecchio like he is a difference maker. Like, bro, that is always my big, like, whenever we bring up that name, I just chuckle to myself, like, bro, we're really, like, thinking Simon Fontecchio is about to be our savior because he put up good stats on a terrible team. Newsflash, if your team wins 14 games, I would pray you were at least out there, like, you just jacking up shit, like, fuck it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's like this goes with the Tigers too. Like, if one player has a good spurt, it's like these, because the teams are so fucking bad. Like, the fans just fall in love with those bad players on the bad. Like, they seem good to us. You know what I mean? Like Fontecchio. Like, what is Fontecchio on? Like what is he on Boston? Like, he's like their 10th man.
Yeah, no, I would say Allen W brought up a good point. I mean, since he is a solid role player. Yeah, no, he's a solid role player, but here, like, the name get brought up. At least I'm more so speaking for here, at least.
Yeah.
The name would get brought up like Fontecchio is a player that he needs to come back. He needs to be on his team. Like, he is one of our core. No, he is nowhere close to that. Solid role player, yes. 3 and D, yeah, he can do that. Nice size. He would be a great player for us. Like, he would be like, how should I say? I would look at him as a higher importance if we were at like a better spot of like being closer to winning.
Yeah, because he's not a needle mover. Like,
yeah, that's the way to put it. Yeah,
he doesn't make you like he doesn't turn a bad team into a good team,
and he doesn't turn a bad one into a badder one. He just there.
Yeah, but he's like one of those players that like he turns a fringe content. This might be pushing it a little bit, but like he could be a player that turns like a fringe contending team into like, okay, that might put him over the top a little bit because you add shooting. Like,
no, yeah, I can see that for sure.
Yeah.
I can see that for sure. Like, if a team like Dallas had a player like him, they definitely could have probably snuck another game in there, probably got a little 2 games in, or if it would have went different with a different matchup against like a different team other than Boston, because I don't think anybody was beating Boston for real. But yeah, a team like Dallas, if they had like a Simon Fontecchio, you saw them struggle with shooting, that would be like a player that they would be wanting back. But for us,
Tim Hardaway Jr., but he was bad last
I've been preaching Tim Hardaway finished. He finished.
Yeah.
Like 20 minutes into the offseason, Monk re-signed, and when I saw Monk re-sign, I was a little hurt. That pipe dream went out the window quick, but I knew it was just that. It was a pipe dream for the most part. And then speaking of Pistons and like free agency and trades, I wanted to talk about Allen W. actually brought that up for us. That Isaiah Stewart has been involved in some trade talks. So I just wanted to see like how you felt about that, Caleb. And like is there any player that you would want to see come in for him, or do you even want to see him be traded away?
I think it's a move you need to make, or like at least explore the options, because, I mean, where does he play? You know what I mean? So you have Duren, and they're looking at Claxton.
Yeah.
So then if you bring in Claxton, what's Stu's role? He's a backup 4 who's
a tweener almost too.
Like you should definitely explore your options, but after giving him that contract, would we give him like 15 something?
I'm not too sure. Let me double check.
After we extended him, like, we're not. If he was still on like a rookie deal, I think we get maybe a little bit of assets back, but.
He getting $15 million a year, 4 years, $60 million.
Yeah, which is low for the NBA, but, I don't know. I would definitely explore your options, but I don't think you're getting anything too crazy for a guy like Isaiah Stewart, who doesn't have like a solidified role yet in the NBA.
Which is crazy, because like I just really thought about his contract, bro. 4 years, $60 million, and to like that actually is like kind of like a lower end contract. Well, it is. Well, it's like kind of that mid lower tier contract, which is like insane, because every time I think about a contract, I think about the fact that Magic Johnson signed a 25-year, $1 million contract.
Yeah.
That was like, just to see how far, or no, I think it was, that's what it was. It's 25 years, $25 million. So like $1 million a year, something like that. Mm-hmm. So it's just crazy to see like where we've come with these contracts and this like player play.
Like, yeah, like you see like a guy like Brandon Ingram, he's asking for Jared Goff money right now.
Yeah.
$52 million. It's crazy. Like, stars in the NBA used to get paid. Like, I remember when like 20 million was a lot.
Yeah, no, I was just about to say that. I could remember some contracts that like people were like, what? Like,
yeah,
they got that?
It was that one. Do you remember that 1 year? I can't remember exactly what year it was.
Talking about that like started the great rush of like mid players getting super big contracts.
I'm trying to remember.
Timothy Mozgov was the leader of that.
I can't remember the other dudes, but I remember just these like 4-year, $90 million contracts. I know like bench players.
Yeah, no, I know for a fact Timothy Mozgov had got one because he like was on the finals going like a little crazy. Who else? It's actually a lot. Chandler Parsons got one.
Yeah.
It's plenty that you could really bring up, and it's just more so like I have to remind people this all the time when they complain about some of these contracts, bro. It's the way the market work. Like some players just be like due up for a contract at like just a prime time. So it's like that's why you see like certain players like a Daniel Jones in NFL terms, like a Daniel Jones being the highest paid quarterback. Right now, Trevor Lawrence being the highest paid quarterback. Just all about the market. So it's just like some mid-tier players have been a benefit of that market and how it works out now for players. I don't know when it changed over to like, it's like that with the NFL too. It probably like that with baseball, but like that's why a lot of players don't even really want to get franchise tag.
Yeah.
Because they want to leech onto those big fat contracts. They don't want to just get like a 1 year. But sometimes it benefits them because like the way, if I remember correctly, the way a franchise tag works is like go off the average top 5 contracts.
So
yeah.
Like this year, like I think T. Higgins, he just got the franchise tag, and I think it was like, I could be 100% wrong on this, but I think it was somewhere in like 28 million.
Yeah, I think it was 25 or something like that.
Yeah, which is crazy. Like that's the market price for a wide receiver, and T. Higgins isn't even a 1.
Oh no, 21 million.
21.
Yeah.
Which is still crazy. And like what is like a, I'm gonna look up what a franchise tag is for like a quarterback right now, which that never really happens. I mean, Dak got franchise tagged a couple times, but yeah.
Sheesh,
right
38 million.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's nuts, and I guess it's fair because if they're not giving you a contract and they're just tagging you, they got to give you market price, and those are the markets right now.
You know, and it's actually crazy. Like, I guess it's good to see the NBA and the NFL set like those markets to make sure that you don't see like players like going through the disputes and like getting, I guess you could say, fucked over like in years prior, like bad contracts and like giving they all to the game and then not really having nothing to show for it. But I think it does need to like tone back just a tad bit because we're about to start like seeing some random players get some crazy contracts. And in that, bro, I literally was saying, bro, I'm like, the NFL and NBA have got hit with inflation.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're literally getting hit with inflation. Like
baseball too. I mean, like Shohei Ohtani's contract is nuts. But baseball could do some weird things. But yeah, NBA and NFL, that's crazy.
I was like, I don't know if it was just because I was like a little blowed one day, but I was like trying to like connect how NBA players and NFL players and MLB players getting like all this money is gonna eventually be bad for like normal people like us at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Cause I'm like, bro, like think of it like this: if somebody is like, if you got back at a bench NBA player making $2-3 million, like. And then I don't even know how to explain it. It was a deep thought that I had. Like,
but are you saying but a guy who works a hardworking job only gets paid $3 million less than that? You know?
Basically. So it's like, I don't know. I forgot, bro. It was a long, drawn out thing. But it's just like, I don't know. It definitely in my head, in my mind of minds, these contracts are definitely playing a part into inflation too as well.
Yeah, and like I'm not good with like money wise when it comes to NBA, NFL, but I know like the luxury tax keeps going up in the NBA, and
that's what it was, bro. Because I was like, all right, boom. So they're getting all this money because these TV right deals are going up. So I'm like, and part of that, they keep adding on all these streaming services for us. So I'm like, these streaming services are going up, and then I'm like, literally. Like it's always a trickle down effect when price gouging happens.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if these players start price gouging, it affects the cable companies that we all use and the streaming services that we all use, and it just all trickles down into our every day to day. Like, I granted the NBA and NFL don't have that many players to affect the whole United States, but
no,
it's still like I don't know, food for thought basically.
Did you see? I don't know if you already saw it. I kind of want you to guess here what Stephen A. asked ESPN for.
I think it was it 25 million?
25 million a fucking year.
25 million. That's what I'm saying. Like
that's
like
crazy.
Look at it. All right, so that was another part of the point. So now like all these other jobs are gonna start looking at like, all right, this motherfucker making because they got a TV right deal. We work for this company that got the TV right deal. Why can't I get more?
It's like it kind of comes down to like. And I guess this kind of goes for every job, but, like, you look at your boss and you're kind of like, or, like, the owner of your company, and you're like, I see how much money you're making, and I'm making you this money. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
literally.
When it comes to NFL and NBA, that's kind of what it is. They're like, they look at these owners like, I'm making you all this money, you know, pay me rightfully, like the way I should be paid.
That's why I tell anybody.
And that goes for Stephen A. too.
No, Alan W. brought up a good point. He said, what you call it, Stephen A. gonna be making more than Malik Monk. 'Cause I think his contract was only like 20 million or 21 million or something like that. Yeah, so what you call it, if a TV like analyst is out here making, granted he's probably definitely making more than some NFL players and NBA players that are like lower end of the spectrum, but if he's making more than a player like Malik Monk, that's an issue.
Yeah,
that is an issue. Granted, I'm not hating. Like Stephen A. go get your money, get paid. You've been doing this for a long time, but to be making more than an NBA player of the caliber of Malik Monk would be like asinine almost to me.
Dude, $25 million a year is insane.
That's like
crazy. Bro.
That's like in Detroit terms, if Dan Miller was making more than like fucking
Jalen Reeves-Maben, like someone like that.
No, I ain't gonna lie. Dan Miller probably making some solid money, but Jalen Reeves made one on $1 million contract. So yeah, something like that, or like I was gonna go a little bit more extreme, like a Iffy.
Yeah.
Like if Dan Miller was making way more money than Iffy, like that would be insane.
Yeah, there's a lot of money out there in this industry.
No, definitely. But switching over a little bit, I wanted to since we got the Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Finals on tonight, I wanted to ask you, like, one, if you had a prediction for that game, and then two, like, do you think that the Oilers have enough to come back from the 3-0 deficit?
Not much of a hockey guy, but I have kind of
I'm not either.
tuning in to
no, that's why I asked.
I mean, when you got a guy like McDavid, if I'm not wrong, this kind of goes with every sport. When you have the best player in the sport, you have an advantage. When you have the best player on the ice at all times, it gives you an advantage.
Yeah.
They won 2 games in a row. Is the game tonight in Florida or Edmonton?
It's in Edmonton, if I remember correctly.
And from what I hear, that's a tough place to play. So,
let me double check.
Money down on Edmonton tonight. We'll see. I definitely want to see a Game 7 since we got a shitty NBA Finals. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Edmonton got the dub here.
Yeah, no, I honestly wouldn't be surprised now. And Florida at Edmonton, and what you call it. And really a main thing that we got to talk to Sean McDonough on for a little bit, and he was talking about like how this is like the longest travel NHL Cup or Stanley Cup, I should say, from like miles wise. So like they're going from Florida all the way to Edmonton, which is insane. And Braylon brought up a good point. Whoever is just most prepared for all that traveling is gonna you gonna be able to see it. And I think it may have been able to play a part into Edmonton being able to come back a little bit. Because if you like, from what I saw, like the 2 games that they did win, it just looked like Florida wasn't playing with the same energy. They just looked a little flat. And I don't know if the travel has anything to do with that or system or game plan like that. But what you call it, like to your point though, if you got a player like Connor McDavid who's literally able to like take over the game, and if you in a sport like hockey where it's not a lot of scoring going on, somebody who's able to produce in 2 games 8 goals by themselves through scoring, what you call it, I think the last game he scored 2 goals and had 2 assists. If a player is able to like produce that much on their own in a sport that's low scoring and it's only 5 players out on the ice at a time, it's definitely like you definitely have a bigger, and they got Leon Draisaitl, who's also one of the top players. So you got 2 of the best players out there. Talent can definitely take you so far, and you really seeing that with them. But to Alan's point, he brought up a good point in the chat earlier that Florida, this game 2, they had suffocated them in like the second half, because I only tuned in when they started scoring. They were down like 3-0, 4-0, something like that. Then they just started pounding them, coming back, scoring goals like rapid. So I'm like, oh, they about to come back and win it. Yeah. Didn't happen like that. But if they come out like how they ended the last game, this probably is like an easy.
Or how they started game 4. Went out to like they win like 8-1 that game?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, they came out like it was like 4-0 or something.
Yeah, no, what you call it. But, if Florida come out like how they did, how they ended game 5, I could see this being like a 3-1 game for Florida, something like that.
I definitely want to see a Game 7. I mean, I'm not even like a big hockey guy, but like I was gonna say I picked the Florida Panthers
before like in like the second round win, just to like, cause I was telling Justin, bro, about like how I think I have a gift for like sports that I don't really pay attention to just at random pick like the finals or World Series winner or whatever.
Yeah.
Cause I usually do it with baseball. Oh yeah, if y'all want to know my team, I got it. Just let me know if y'all want to know the team. I got it in my head, but I ain't got
team for baseball.
Yeah, really, I don't even give a fuck. It's the team that just like randomly like was in my gut that I was like they probably be the one this year is the Brewers.
Damn, no, I love that pick.
I was about to say I don't know what it is, but I'm like, bro, I've been like every day. I'm basing it off how I based it off picking like all the other teams that I've picked so far. So like before when I wasn't gambling, I like 1 year picked the Nationals because they had Juan Soto, and I was like, yeah, Juan Soto, and I think they had like 2 other players of note. I can't remember though.
Like Rendon.
Yeah, baseball changed their teams like so much. It's impossible to keep up with. So I'm like, what you call it? So I just like I'm seeing all this shit about what's his name? I forgot that quick.
Soto?
Yeah, Juan Soto. I'm like, yeah, I'm seeing all this about him. He like going crazy.
Yeah. He's nuts.
They going against the Astros. I'm like, bro, fuck the Astros. This is right after the cheating scandal. I'm like, bro, fuck the Astros. I'm like, Juan Soto. I'm like, I told my friend, I'm like, bro, he like played baseball and everything. I'm like, Nationals winning the World Series. He was like, bro, you sound stupid. He was like, the Astros got da-da-da-da-da-da. I was like, that makes me no difference. I was like, Nationals win the World Series. He was like, you want to bet?
Yeah. I
was like, we could bet 20. Because I had a job, so I didn't used to give a fuck to like I won't say throw money away, but
yeah, you were comfortable. It was
like I was like, bro, we could do 25. Fuck it. Yeah. So he like 25. You that confident? Mm-hmm. I'm like, sure, yeah, come on. Yeah. I think they started off down, and then they end up like winning the series. And then he was like, bro, how did you know? I was like, I didn't. I just don't fuck with you. That was really like the whole thing. Like I only made the bet just because I didn't like him, and I felt wholeheartedly the Nationals was gonna win.
Yeah, that was a sweet series. I mean, I'm trying to remember. Scherzer was on that team. Strasburg, Rendon, Trey Turner, Soto. That team was loaded.
Yeah.
It kind of just all fell apart for them. But I mean, they trade Soto. They get James Wood back, and
if you had to pick a like a winner now, kind of close to mid-season, who would you pick?
The easy pick is probably the Yankees, just because like they have Soto. Aaron Judge is insane. They get Garrett Cole back.
Oh, they got Giancarlo too still?
Giancarlo, yeah. He's not as good as he used to be, but I mean he still hits some home runs.
That's what I was about to say. He really still just you just need him to have that pop still.
That's a good question. Because I mean the Brewers, that's such a sick.
They got Anthony Rizzo as well too, right?
Yeah. I think I wouldn't be surprised if they went after first baseman and trade deadline, but I'm trying to give you a cool pick here because the Brewers are such a sick pick. I don't know. I don't want to say the Guardians because they're in the division. Shit. Come back to me in a second. I'll give you.
Yeah, I got you. But what you call it?
Oh, we'll do it right here. I'm going Philly. Just because I think it's Philly's year.
Fuck Philadelphia. You haven't learned about my hate for the city of Philadelphia, bro. I literally.
In general?
Yeah, I hate. I don't know. Anything Philadelphia sports, I hate.
I don't like the Eagles. And honestly, I don't even like the Phillies that much. But I just think, like, it's been so long for them.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, like, baseball-wise, like, granted, I only pay attention when it comes to playoffs. Like, I don't know nothing that goes on until we get to the playoffs. Like, I will openly admit, like, I'm one of those fans. Like, playoffs, I'm not even 100% paying attention. I'm only paying attention to certain series. So, what you call it? Who did the Phillies lose to? They lost to the Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
And that was a team that I was like, bro, I told my one friend in class because he was a Yankees fan. Since the Yankees wasn't going to make it to the playoffs, I was like, bro, the Diamondbacks making the World Series. He was like, bro, they're a wild card team.
Yeah. Baseball's such a weird game because, like, you talk about a team like the Brewers, like, yeah, they're good, but they're going to need to go on, like, the Diamondbacks weren't very good last year, and you see it this year, they're not very good. And, like, baseball's a game of streaks. So,
literally.
Like, the Diamondbacks got hot at the right time, and, I mean, that's just what happens. I mean, yeah, they're a wild card team and then got hot, beat a team like Philly. Obviously not the most, best for, like, the MLB for a team like Arizona to go in the World Series. But, I mean, it was pretty cool to see an underdog go there.
Yeah, no, what you call it? And you explained it perfectly. You really just got to get hot at the right time because that's what it was that, like, gave me the confidence on them because Corbin Carroll was heating up. Christian Walker was heating up. Yeah. Tommy Pham had just got traded to their team. They had Lourdes Gurriel. So I'm like, bro, they got like real deal hitters, and not even just hitters. I'm like, they got hitters and like dudes who can run the bases good and feel good. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I would be a fool to not try to capture this lightning in the bottle.
Yeah.
And then what you call? What's about? Damn, I literally, bro, I be losing train of thought so easily. I lose it so easily.
I'm terrible at that. Like when I'm talking on like heavyweights, I'll like be in the middle of a sentence and I'll be like, what the fuck was I actually talking about?
No, bro, I tried to explain to somebody. I'm like, it'd be 1,000 things that pop into my head at the same time. So like while I'm talking about something, like my brain would be like, oh, that's an example that you could talk about.
Yeah.
Or it'd be like, or that's another example you could talk about. Or that's another example. And then sometimes I just like focus on all three at the same time, and then it's just what you call it. Give Javi a little more time. He's gonna get hot. What you call it. You got anything to say about that? I don't give a fuck about Javier Baez.
Javi Baez?
Yeah.
Who said that in the chat?
Steve.
I know it's Friday. Are you already drinking? I mean, Javi Baez is the worst player in baseball. It's like not close. And he's hurt right now. He's just going to get worse. No disrespect, Steve. But come on. What are we doing? He's the worst player in baseball. He's not going to get hot. There's no indication that a guy like Javi Baez is going to make a change to his swing and get hot. He's awful. No disrespect, Javi, as well. But you're awful, Javi.
You know, I would say the thing, he told me he just needs to develop. Ain't this like Javi 10th
like
year?
32.
Yeah, I would say it's just like his 10th year in the league or something like that.
Yeah, what do we...
Because it's 2024. I could have swore I've been hearing about his name popping since like 2014. Then he went MVP 2016.
Yeah, he was one of the better shortstops in the league. And then the year before he came here, he was on the he got traded from Chicago to New York and had a pretty decent season. He hit like 28 home runs, 90-something RBIs, came here, and was legitimately the worst player in MLB baseball.
I was going to say, coming from somebody who, like I just said, I don't watch a lot of baseball, I'm a sports watcher, so I've seen like what it takes in certain sports for like a player to look good, if that makes sense. Like, I literally texted Dustin like the first time I tuned in to Connor McDavid. I was like, oh, I see why he's so good now. Because I'm like, bro, this motherfucker is like, I'm watching hockey and I'm seeing other people. If they like, say if two people came to them, they losing the puck and it's going the other way. Yeah. Connor McDavid, I literally watched him like literally glide through people and hit the goal. So I'm like, bro.
But bro, like I don't really know how to explain this, but if you like, okay, so if you look at Javi Baez, like you watch him play defense, for example, you'd be like, this guy's sweet. And then
I was going to say, hitting, what I see from him, he has no plate discipline.
No, dude.
And from what I've seen from the best hitters, you have to have the plate discipline to get into those like favorable hitter counts, like the 3-0, the 3-1, and what you call it. Or just get a pitcher like out of their like rhythm and like off speed pitches that they may not be able to locate, and get them to have to throw a cheap meatball fastball like up the middle or up high, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, Javi Baez, like a pitcher could not throw him a fastball for the rest of the year and they'd be fine. Like they don't have to throw it in the zone for him.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. The no plate discipline is like, that's from what I've seen, bro. That's fucking him up the most because he will swing at like anything. Like I didn't see pitchers literally hit the dirt first and then get to him and he still swung. So it's like, when it's stuff like that, I don't really think it's more mechanics or like heating up. It's literally mental. And I was just watching a King of the Hill episode where a sports doctor was talking to Hank, and he was like, sports are 10% physical and 100% mental. And like that adds up to 100%, 110%, but it makes like a lot of sense because it's like, even if your head is not fully in the game, bro, you're not going to be able to be all the way there.
Especially when it comes to baseball, too, because, okay, for example, like Spencer Torkelson, like, sucked straight up. Just was not good for us this year. And you just got to stay, and this is coming from just a fat dude who doesn't play MLB baseball, but I would assume that it's very difficult to stay level-headed when you're that bad. And I think that's a problem a lot of the young hitters have in the league, and that's why players don't stick. It's because, I mean, they slumps happen. You get in the middle of a slump, and they can't break out of it. Yeah, I mean, baseball is a great example of just being a mental sport. Because you got to, number one, because when you're playing, it's relatively boring. I play baseball. It's not the most fun thing in the world, but you just got to stay locked in, and if you're having a shitty day, at the plate or something, if you're 0 for 3, you just got to overlook it and go on to the next at-bat.
And it's one of those things that if you have a great game, you really can't get too excited to like think that that's how it's about to be every game, because now the next pitcher probably come with like something completely different. Now I do know. See, I can speak a little bit to it because I was an avid MLB The Show career player.
Yeah.
So so I knew the corals that you would go throughout series and weeks of like sometimes like some teams pitchers you just like having your way with them. You just dropping your nuts on them. 2 home run games easily.
Dude,
then it would be
locked in playing.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, bro. I would like sometimes like I'm the type of person that didn't really want to skip games either.
Oh,
so I would damn to be playing like all like some series where I would see like we wasn't really playing nobody for real. I would probably skip it like But for
I
the
get fucking really pissed off at that game sometimes.
No, I was about to say, bro. I literally used to legit be like mad if my player, because I used to only make like the player I would try to make is just a player that was gonna be super fast. So when I did get on base, I could steal bases.
Yeah.
But if he did make contact, for the most part, it was gonna be a home run.
Yeah.
Or a fly out. I really had no in between like. Because when I would get on base, I would literally try to steal all the way to home. Like, I was like, bro, I used to just... That's the thing, too. I didn't play it on, like, easy mode. I just was so locked into that bitch. I just got, like, so good at career mode. If you asked me to play against a person, though, I was, like, terrible.
Do you play My Player?
For 2K?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm like, once I got older, I'm more so moved into, like, Ultimate Teams and My Teams and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Those, I found out those was more fun.
Like, you play, like, My... Rack?
Park. Oh no, my ref.
No, Rack.
Oh, I was about to say what
My
the.
yeah.
I was about to say what mode is that? My rec. No, I never had a deep enough squad consistently to be getting on rec. Like when I used to get in the game, it would be probably just like 2 of us, 1 of us.
Yeah.
Like or just me hopping on. Like I used to only really want to get on the game to like play somebody. I never really gave a fuck to like. That's what it was. I was never too big of a fan of like them super big parties, game parties, unless we was playing like Park or something. But like. I wasn't too big of a fan of Park.
Yeah. I mean, I played a decent amount last year, little rack pro-am. Shout out Brant. Shout out Ty.
Shout out Brandon Ty.
Yeah, we were pretty awful. But it was fun.
No, what you call it? My roommate sophomore year of college, shout out Mondo. I used to actually, I like sit and watch people play the game, low-key a little bit more than playing it. So, like, I won't say more than, but it's about even. I like watching people play the game even about the same amount as I like playing it. So I used to just go in my roommate room and watch him play like Park and stuff with our other friends, and I used to just be laughing because like he would let that ass like they wouldn't be able to see him getting mad, and he wouldn't be saying anything, but I would just be seeing on the other side that he like mad and shit. Like, that's another reason why it's fun to watch people play games, just to like see how they react to certain shit.
Yeah, definitely. That's why like streaming's so big and shit right now.
Yeah, no, definitely. What you call it? But I ain't gonna lie, y'all. We both got to get to heavyweights today. I got to do the audio booth today, so y'all can check us out over there. But we about to end a little bit earlier than most times because we got to go head over there and start setting up so we can be ready for that show. So what you call it? Anything else you want to say?
Oh, hope everybody has a good weekend. Steve, have a great weekend, brother.
Yeah, no, Steve, Allen W, just a fan, Mook, who else? Chase didn't come today. MJ was in place of Chase. And then whoever else was in chat and didn't say anything, shout out to you. Thanks for tuning in. Y'all have a good one. Peace.